Hello, good afternoon. Welcome back to another ARPA Talk this afternoon. We have a guest speaker this afternoon, a new person who's going to go ahead and be sharing with us today. And of course, as always, once she's completed, we'll come back on and give us an opportunity to discuss what's been shared with us today. And as you know, through the local grants and donations, we offer programs to help with the effects of COVID and other post pandemic situations like housing and food insecurity or just isolation. Through this partnership, we provide educational topics that can help promote self care and resilience. And today we have the speaker as being Michelle. And Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away, and we'll be back afterwards.
Wonderful. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining and taking the time out to learn about what I have to offer. My name is Yashika Michelle. You can call me Michelle. And today I'm going to tell you about our company, Lincoln Heritage, the Funeral Guardian Society, and also tell you what we can offer you and also whether this is a good fit for you and your family. I think you're going to absolutely love it. And then also just let you know I'm the state director locally here in the St. Louis area, and I'll let you know a little bit more about me as well. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and we're also going to save our questions for the end. So if anyone has questions, let me know. All right, again, my name is Michelle Bryant. Well, my real name is Yashika Michelle, but everyone calls me Michelle. I'm here at Lincoln Heritage, the local state director here in St. Louis, Missouri. And you can reach me at the phone number area code 314-760-6900. And I love what I do because my motto is because I want no family, because no family should face their hardest day alone. So very important to me that families have the resources that they need when the time comes and know that they're not alone. We will help guide them in the right direction to help them save money, but also so that they can grieve with their families. And then here is a little bit of what I like to call my family. They're my clients. I've met them on my journey here with Lincoln Heritage. They're so sweet, so personal, and I just love getting to know them. Sometimes I just stop by to say hi, bring little goodies. I've had the pleasure to meet their family and everything. So here at Lincoln Heritage, we're very personal people. I would be your personal life insurance agent, so you won't get any calls from any automatic machines or anything like that. So I will be pretty much almost like your life partner and there through you to walk you through everything and also be there for your family when the time comes. And so it's important that you kind of know who I am. Also, a little bit more about me. I am born and raised in St. Louis. I started my journey off being a veterinary technician. I love working with animals. I've also worked as a pharmacy technician, which has kind of opened the door for me to realize that I really love working with elderly people and just people in general, especially when they are at a time that's very sensitive for them and they're trying to make decisions. I love helping guide them in that right direction and honestly brightening up their day. I also love spending time with my friends and family and coworkers. I have a small business where I design graduation toppers, and so I love to inspire people of all ages and walks of life all over the U.S. I also love baking and cooking, and I love surprising my clients with different little treats like cakes and cookies and meals and things like that. And I'm very active. I love playing tennis and other sports of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and get into our presentation, let you learn a little bit about our company. So this will be the complete final expense solution for you and your family with Lincoln Heritage. We're also going to talk about our family support service that no other company offers at the Funeral Guardian Society. And this presentation, we'd like to tell people typically take about 8 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to take my time and go through it with you all. So you're looking at something around 15, 20 minutes. And then we're going to talk about who we are as a company and how we can help your family. And then talk about our family free support service that no other company offers, as I mentioned. And then also, if you like, I'm thinking about asking a few questions so that you can kind of figure out whether or not this is a plan that you'd be qualified for. And this is AM Best. They are a company that analyzes the financial stability of insurance companies. They have given us the highest rating, which we're very proud of. We've been given an A for excellence. Lincoln Heritage is the number one leading financial expense provider for insurance. And we operate in 49 states with over 1 million policies in force. We are valued over $11 billion, and I'll tell you here in a minute why that is so important. And this is our beautiful home office in Phoenix, Arizona. All right. And as I mentioned, I will be your personal agent if you were to decide to choose our company as your um, insurance burial plan. And I will provide you with my phone number, of course, so you can reach out to me at any time. We are headache free, being that we do not have any automatic machines. All of our operators are live 24/7, ready to answer any questions. Also, so that when that time comes, even if it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, we will be there to help them and guide them in the right direction. All right, and then we also pay our claims out within 24 hours. Now, this is very important. Something you want to ask yourself, if you don't know, when do funeral homes want to get paid? Okay, when the time comes, the doctors are going to be there, the nurse is going to be there. They're going to be asking, you know, um, how are you going to pay for this? Where do you want to take your loved one? All these questions are going to be needed to be answered within 24 hours. So it's important that you have something in place so that when the time comes that you have the money for your family to be able to take care of that. And then also think about how long it takes insurance companies to pay out. I know a lot of people in my friend and family group that are still waiting on payouts from different insurance companies. So we take pride in paying out within 24 hours. As I mentioned before, our company's worth over $11 billion, and our average payout for claims is around $15,000 to $20,000. So you can see why that would be a no brainer when it comes to paying out. We have no problem with paying out automatically within that 24 hours. Also, you have to ask yourself, what would your loved ones do if they didn't have the money right away? So we want to make sure that we pay out within 24 hours. Our company was founded by an ex-funeral director, so he knew the importance of having that money right away because that's the time that your loved ones will need it. And we don't want to put them in a situation where they're not ready for what's to come ahead of them. Okay. And then also a question you want to ask is when was the last time you probably experienced a funeral? And that's going to kind of help you decide, um, as far as what it is that you would need to do going forward to help your loved ones. So when you did attend that funeral, did your loved ones, did they have insurance? Was there any problems that came in place when it came to planning? Also, what was the cost of it? And if you do know the cost, what do you think the cost would be in the next 20 years? Typically, people reach out to us about insurance when they've gotten married or going through a divorce, they had a child, starting a new family, or there was a death in the family, or they're buying a new home. So you want to be prepared when this time comes. I'm not sure where you all would stand at if you were to be looking for insurance currently, but these are the typical reasons why people do reach out to us. All right. And then another question you definitely want to figure out is who will be in charge of your final expenses when the time comes. Here are some things to consider. Has your loved one ever planned a funeral before? Will your loved one know if they will be getting a fair price? I know some people are going to be leaving everything to their 23-year-old daughter or son, and they've never planned a funeral. and they're leaving them this big insurance policy. So it's important to think about those things because you don't want your loved ones to be taken advantage of. Another question you want to ask is, does your loved one know exactly what you're looking for? Um, at that time, they're going to be grieving, and you want to make sure that they're prepared to make the right decisions, um, and not be blurred by everything else that's going on around them. All right. And did you know average traditional funeral costs anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000? This does not include final medical bills or legal expenses or other debts left unpaid. Okay. I'd say the average cost for cremation right now is anywhere between 8,000 and 12,000, depending on if you want to have a funeral service involved as well. And then Social Security, they pay out only $255. I'm not sure if you all knew that. And even that, not everybody qualifies for that. You have to have worked a long enough period to get that. Also, it would be kind of dependent on your surviving spouse, and then also if your child meets certain requirements. And of course, we all know if something happens to you and you are living with someone, your income's going to be the income of the household is going to be cut in half. So those are things you want to think about. A lot of times people do have policies in force for life insurance, but those things are geared towards paying off a home, paying off a car, taking care of those medical bills and legal expenses. The Funeral Guardian Society here at Lincoln Heritage, we specify the funds to go specifically towards your final expenses, EI, your funeral, or your cremation, so that your family can hold on to those other policies and take care of other things that they need. Okay, and as I said, the funeral cost can be anywhere between 15,000 to about 25,000, depending on what it is that you want to have done. So here I have a slide kind of breaking down what those charges kind of look like. So just for the funeral itself, you're looking at around $8,000 to $9,000. Those types of things include hairdressing, cosmetics, the visitation and viewing, service at the funeral home or church, paying for a hearse, the car service. I'm not sure if you all want to have limos and everything like that, but those things cost money. The flower van, not even just the flowers itself, but paying for the van to have them delivered. I know some people like to have doves, also to be released. So those are extra things as well. Acknowledgement cards, and then also the casket. Oh my God, the casket can cost so much money as well. So you want to think about that. And then average cemetery costs, and that's just to finish everything off. And if you're thinking about burial, how it is to put your body in the ground. You have to pay for the plot, and that is around $3,000 in itself. And then opening and closing of the grave, you're looking at 1,600. And then the flat granite marker, you're looking at $750. And these prices vary from, of course, funeral home to funeral home. That's one thing I love about the Funeral Guardian Society is that we will work with whatever price cost that you have, whatever budget that you have, and we will work with the funeral homes to try to get those costs down and negotiate with them to get what's best for you and your family. And we always like to consider inflation as well. As I mentioned, in today's time, average cost for a funeral can be anywhere between, say, 4,000 and 8,000. I mean, not for funeral, but just for cremation. And in about another 10 years, you'd be looking at around 7,000 to 8,000 just for a cremation. That does not include a funeral. And then in about 20 years, you're looking at anywhere between 10,000 and 13,000. So we do like to keep that in mind when it comes to planning for cremation costs. Those things we never plan to die tomorrow. So we do have to keep that in mind of what things will cost in the near future. Okay. And then two other major challenges your family will face when you die. They're going to want to know what it is that you wanted. So they're going to want to know whether you want it burial or cremation. These are very important topics to talk about, but they can be very uncomfortable. So one thing I love about our company is we write all that stuff down for you so that they don't have to play the guessing game when it comes to what it is that you want. You'll have your final wishes in place and they will know exactly what it is that you wanted. Also, the type of casket and the wardrobe that you wanted to wear. These little things will be included in your final wishes to make it easier for your family to decide and also just guide them in what direction they need to go into. And another big thing they're going to need to know is how they're going to pay for the funeral. They're going to need to know whether you had coverage or not. And my job as your personal life insurance agent is to reach out to them and let them know that they can reach out to me when the time comes and I will help guide them in the right direction. All right. One thing that no one really considers is that when it comes to planning a funeral, it can take anywhere between 24 to 48 hours as far as the limit that you have. Unlike a wedding, you have a lot of time to plan for how what you want to wear, where you want to go, what flowers you want. For a funeral, they have very limited time to make these decisions. And in the middle of all that, there's confusion, there's sadness, there's grief and depression, stress, all these different things going through their mind while they're trying to make the decision of how to send you away with respect. So these are very important things to consider when you're thinking about leaving the responsibility up to your loved one. I take pride in knowing that all of my clients will, their family will have that opportunity to grieve with their family and not go through this confusion around that time, which is pretty much the worst day of their life. And then here are some of the medical questions that we ask when the time comes. And I'll go over this here with you all since we have a little time. And so the questions that they ask is, in the past 12 months, have you used any form of tobacco? Now, that doesn't disqualify you or increase your rates in a crazy way. It just increases it a little bit, but um, we do not decline your application due to that. Now, these two next questions will determine whether you are qualified for this insurance, and it asks if you're positive for HIV or if you've been tested positive for AIDS or have a life expectancy of 12 months or less. Also, if you're currently bedridden, hospitalized in a care facility, or receiving hospice care. If you answer yes to any of these questions, unfortunately, you would not qualify. The next few questions, you would qualify. It would just be a modified insurance coverage. And so you can see that there. I'm not going to go over all that, but in a short sense, if you do have something like diabetes or high blood pressure, you will not be modified. So your insurance rates will not go up. But if you do have something like have had heart surgery or congestive heart failure or some form of cancer or kidney or liver disease, those things would make you modified, but it would not disqualify you. One thing I love about this is that if any of these things were to have happened within the more than 2 years and a day, we like to say that you're okay. All right. So if you've been cancer free for the past 2 years, then you would not be modified. If you had an amputation due to diabetes, you would not be modified if it was 2 years ago. So things to consider. And of course, after this program, you can reach out to me and I'll go over these questions with you and let you know what you qualify for. But as you see here, we do not turn away really anyone. Most people are qualified for this insurance. Important question. Question of the day. How would you like to know that on the worst day of your family's life, the day that you die, that all your loved one would have to do is pick up the phone and make one simple call and everything be taken care of? That is why I love our insurance company because we take care of families on the worst day of their lives. Okay, and just a quick little run through of what our company has to offer. We offer immediate funds available for your loved ones to cover the cost of their final expense. Also, it is a tax-free benefit usually paid out within 24 hours of receiving the death certificate. And the Funeral Advantage program is also portable to any funeral home or cemetery. So we work with all funeral homes and cemeteries and life insurance policies. If you have a life insurance policy already, we will work with them as well to make sure that those funds are protected as well. And then also peace of mind by knowing that your loved ones will not have to beg, borrow, or sell personal belongings to cover this huge expense. Your family will thank you for taking this burden off of them. And this is here is the welcoming form that you will get from the Funeral Guardian Society. It will come to my address actually, and I will call you to set a time up for me to deliver that to you to make sure that you understand everything, and then also so that we can go ahead and start putting your final wishes together, and I can help you with that. It'll come with 5 cards with a number on there. One will be for you to put in your wallet, and then one will be for your loved one that will handle your funeral arrangements. And then 3 other ones for any other people that you think will be helping with the final arrangements for your funeral. That card would have the number on there for your loved one to call in case anything were to happen. Again, it does not matter what time of the day. And I would also give your loved one my number, but in case it was 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock, and I'm not able to be reached, that number they can definitely dial, and someone will always be there waiting to pick up. And then the Funeral and Guardian Society is a free membership for your family and free membership for you as well. So when the time comes, we will not charge your family to help them make these decisions up and guide them through everything. And we will keep all of your final wishes safe, and no one will have authorization of that without your permission. And then we also offer 24 service access. Again, with those cards that we will give you, it will have a number on there where your family can reach out at any time of the day when they need us. And then also, we help families save money when the time comes that they're looking for a funeral home to go to. We will search 3 or more funeral homes to make sure that we can get a really good price for your family and that they're not taken advantage of when it comes to planning. So we encourage price competition and we always get those prices down. On average, we save families around $1,800 on traditional funerals, and we save $600 on cremation. Since 2002, we have helped over 100,000 families save over $25 million. So we really take pride in helping families when that time comes so they don't get taken advantage of. Okay, again, this is that welcoming letter that you'll get in the mail. And those are those 5 cards at the bottom, kind of what that would look like. Here's the final wishes form, and it's super simple. There's just 2 forms. You'll fill the first form out with your personal information and your loved one's information. And then on the next line, the 3rd step here, you decide whether you want burial or cremation. And on there, you have different choices of whether you want a visitation and wake or graveside service, with cremation, visitation and wake, or celebration of life, or all of that. And then also you can add your email at the bottom where we will email you all of this information that you put in so you can have access to it as well. Okay, and then here's is where we get into the meat and potatoes here as far as to what you want for your funeral. So on here, they list different things that will help your family when a time comes, as far as if you want us to look for a funeral home for you or if you have a funeral home in mind. Also, whether you want services with your body present or without, or if you want an open casket, closed casket. So it's very detailed. Also asks you what music you want played or prayers you want said. I absolutely love going through this with my clients because we really take our time. Sometimes I bring coffee or something to eat, and we'll take our time and fill these things out. It's absolutely no rush. And sometimes you can bring your family over too to help you decide these things. But of course, sometimes those discussions are awkward, so that's why we're putting these in place, so that we can kind of help them to not have to go through that. And then also, final resting place is what they ask at the bottom. So as far as if you get cremation, they even have the options to where you want your ashes scattered at or who you want your ashes returned to, those types of questions. And of course, you can always add extra stuff on there. You would also get a free Final Wishes book where that's a little bit more detailed, and that's a little gift that we like to give to our clients as well. So that's something to look forward to. And if we end up discussing and talking going forward, I'll go over that with you too. Okay, and this is our good, better, best options as far as our funeral packages, and also different options for cremation that our company offers. And then your plan would also come with accidental death benefit. Now, this one right here is pretty interesting. We are, I would say, the best when it comes to accidental death coverage. This coverage only costs $8 a month. And so, in the case that you have an accidental death, so you fall, slip, and hit your head and pass away, your family will receive additional $40,000 on top of your death benefit. Now, if you were to lose an arm, an eye, leg, some type of single dismemberment, we will give you $20,000. We call this a living benefit. If you died due to an auto accident, we'll give your family an additional $80,000. And if you were to die due to common carriers, so Uber, Lyft, taxi, plane, something like that, we'll give your family an additional $160,000. If you were to die due to war or terrorism, we'll give your family additional $160,000. And then if you were to travel, I'm not sure how many travelers we have out there, but if you were to travel and you pass away and die due to an accident and your body's over 200 miles away, we'll give your family up to $8,000 to get your body back. Now, again, I said these are at $8 a month for the highest amount. But as you see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Each one of these units costs $1 a month. So you can always go down to the 5 unit, or your family would also receive additional money in case anything were to happen. If you do qualify for a modified benefit, as I mentioned earlier, and you get the accidental death coverage, if anything were to happen to you, that modified benefit does have a waiting period. I'll go over that here shortly. But if something like this were to happen to you, your family would not have to rely on the waiting period. They would get the total death benefit along with this additional money as well. Okay, and so if you do qualify for final expense, meaning that it would not be modified, we offer a natural death benefit from $1,000 to $35,000. So we have many price ranges. Also, no health examination is required, and that's for both modified and for full final expense. So we don't require any doctor exams, needles, any test results, or anything like that. We offer full death benefit from day one, and the benefits will never decrease and the rates will never increase. The policy cannot be canceled due to your age or health. If you qualify for a modified death plan, most people get covered, even with health issues. As I mentioned, if you have cancer or you have COPD or emphysema or dementia, you still will be covered. For you all, we offer a natural death benefit for $1,000 to $15,000. Rates never increase and still no health examination is required. As far as the benefit, it is paid out as follows. At the bottom here, I have benefits for age 0 to 49 for modified people. Within the first year, if you pass away, we will pay out all the premiums paid plus additional 10%. On the second year, we pay out all premiums paid plus additional 20%. And in the third year, same thing, we pay out all the premiums plus 30%. After the third year, we pay out in full benefit. Now, this is very important because it is whole life. So essentially, you don't lose out on any money, and your family does get additional money in case anything happens. Again, if you were to have an accident, this right here will be disqualified, and your family will get the full benefit of your policy with additional money from the accidental death benefit. And then if you are modified and you're in the ages between 50 and 85, it's the same thing, but there's just a 2-year waiting period. Okay. So that is the end of that there. I do want to show you all a quick presentation, well, not a presentation, but a video with the Funeral Guardian Society, just explaining a little bit more. They're a little bit better at explaining it, so I'll play that here really quick. Okay, I hope that you all enjoyed that. And again, I want to thank you all for watching and staying. I will be here if anyone has any questions as well. Again, my name is Michelle, and I am here in the local St. Louis area. My phone number is area code 314-760-6900. And yeah, does anybody have any questions for me? Thank you so much, Donna, for helping me through this. This is my first presentation with you all.
Yes, and we thank you very much for sharing such great information, important information at that. Um, it's always a difficult thing, just thinking about funerals, but it's very important. It is something that needs to be discussed and talked about, like you say, prior to the death of a loved one, because once you get to that point, at that point it's too late, because what has happened, and we do want to make sure that we have something in place to protect ourselves, and from the extra cost and um, extra stress that's added, because we all know that everybody has to go. It's just that when the day comes, we want to be prepared. And if you're more you're prepared, the better off you are when it comes to the planning. So some really good information. I learned some things
Yeah.
myself, what you guys provide, and that's awesome. Let me
Okay.
see here if I see any comments or questions. I don't see any comments or questions.
Okay.
But if you want to go ahead and put your information up on the screen one more time
Yeah,
before we
absolutely.
disconnect, that way, at any time, people can always go on our website and they'll be able to see your
Mhm.
information and see what you have to offer. And at any time, if somebody would like to contact Miss Michelle Bryant, please do so at Lincoln Heritage Funeral Services. And if for some reason you can't get a hold of Michelle, you can always call Agent Advantage, get a hold of one of us, and we'll put you in contact with her. Again, we thank everybody for your time and attention, and have a great afternoon, rest of your day. Thank you so
Yes.
much again, Michelle.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful day as well, you all.
Bye bye.